Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Please.
What is your dream, the next big thing for you and your ministry?
This video is designed to be watched together with every teenager in the house. No child returns to crime, crack, or cultism after this vital exposure, provided freely by Abounding Grace Foundation. My name is Evangelist Christian Chukwuka. I was born in Nigeria here, actually, in Abia State. I was born originally from Anambra, Newi. It's actually a very long story because my life was a life that had no meaning from beginning until God turned it around. I live without purpose because I didn't go to school. Was born in a very poor family. My parents had no money to send me to school. We are 7 children in the family. And obviously their system is train the first one. When he grows and make money, then he will take care of the other one. But anyway, in some situation we find ourselves, I believe I don't have that. I mean, I feel like I can't wait for the first son to take care of me. I need to fight for my life. So first of all, they sent me for slavery in Cameroon. To go.
Slavery?
Yeah. They call it apprentice, but it's not really apprentice because the suffering was more than what a slave could go through. So I was in Baminda in southwest part of Cameroon with a man that I served over there. I found it like a journey through the hell.
Was he a Nigerian?
Yeah, he's a Nigerian, but I lived with him there, over there. Okay. Then after a while, the situation became unbearable, so I have to run away from the place. Came back, and then my mom sent me to my dad, both of them. They sent me to one of my uncle as well for apprentice, I call it, in Maiduguri. We lived together for some time, but I was a little bit stubborn child. I don't really like to take instruction. I don't like to do exactly how they want me to behave. So because of that headiness, I couldn't stay there long again. I ran away. Then it got back to my mom, and my dad asked them to settle me whatever they can so I can go and start a life of my own. My parents had nothing, so my mom has to sell everything she had and raise about 10,000 naira in 1984. So I used that money to travel to Lagos to start a new life. On getting to Lagos, life wasn't that easy, so I had to start running about looking for people to help me to make some money. And what do? You go to people that importers, ask them to give you their goods, you sell for them, and you bring their money. And as God may have it, I'm a trustworthy person. Even though I was very stubborn, I'm very reliable. I'm an honest person. My problem is just this stubbornness. And I won't call it rebelliousness. It hasn't got to that there. But I was really stubborn. So I have so many people that trusted me, knowing fully well that I can say the truth. So they give me goods, I sell, and they start making money. So many people trusted me. Before you know it, I bought my first car, bought my boss, and then start making money. After a while, I felt like I need to go to African countries and start, becoming a big boy. Having only primary 6 education, no secondary school, no university. Only thing in my mind was how to make money.
How old were you?
I was very young, teenage, about 14, 15, just wandering about without no direction. So after a while, I make some money in Lagos and then start running African countries.
That's young, like you were 15.
Yeah.
Already had your businesses, you're already making money.
Yeah. Basically, we can start making money even if you're 12 or something. It's just it's a natural thing. We love to make money earlier. Yeah. But anyway, I got involved with some guys that are flying around doing business in African countries. Okay. By them, I'm approaching 18. I'm old enough to be able to move. Mm-hmm. So I started to move with them. Then unfortunately, it wasn't exactly what it's supposed to be. Mm. I thought when you just start flying around, money will start flowing everywhere. When I finally end up in Gambia, I realized that Nigeria is far better than every of the African countries. Mm. And by then, I've sold everything I have in Idumota. I've sold my shop. Mm. The business is closed down completely. Mm-hmm. I want to just focus on international business. Mm. Without knowledge. Imagine primary 6 education and you want to do international business without no knowledge at all. So you can imagine what will happen. So because of that illiteracy, I dabble into what I shouldn't. Running African countries, then end up in Gambia, rent a house in Gambia because my money is diminishing. I couldn't see any profit. Everything is just falling down, going down. The only thing I could do is just to hide in Gambia, importing things and then making small profits. After a while, I was like, no, this is not the life I should live. Being an Anambra man, I can't live this kind of life. I decided to find another way. The only way that devil gave me instruction to follow, because God wasn't speaking to me, I would tell you that right away. Devil told me that the best now we do is just to go and travel abroad. That's where everybody make money. Then I took the little 3,000 something dollars I have left with me, approached the immigration in Gambia, asked them, please, can you help me to get a Gambia passport? And they told me, yeah, we can do that. Somebody introduced me to one of the leaders. He said, we can do that, but it costs you money. How much? $1,500. I said, okay, at least I have 3,000 something dollars left. So I gave them the $1,500. I thought it's going to end there. But the guy stepped into the next level, which I knew I have no choice. I have to say compromise I had to make. They say you have to change your name. You're not going to answer Christian Okezichukwu anymore. You have to be a Muslim name because Gambia is a Muslim country. 99% Muslim. So
you have to denounce your Nigerian citizenship.
Yeah. Wow. I gave it up and then took away the beautiful name Christian Okezichukwu and then take the name called Omar Bashiru. Believe me, I don't know what Omar Bashiru meant. I don't know the meaning till today as I'm talking to you. I pick up that name, they gave me the passport, and as I collect that passport, I start bearing Omar Bashiru. So I'll be calling myself Omar Bashiru, so I'll get used to it when they're going to get to airport in case if they call me. My dear, when I finally got that passport, paid the money, changed the name, they took me to the airport, helped me from Banjul Airport with Swedish-Nigerian going to UK, from UK to Sweden. My ticket en route to Stockholm, Sweden, but it wasn't where I wanted. I wanted to enter England, but I need to en route my ticket to Sweden because that's where somebody will take me, will help me come out. On getting to UK, I want to sneak into UK, but it didn't work out. They look at my face and look at my passport, say, you are an Igbo man. They didn't even tell me that I'm a Nigerian. They just look at my face straight and say, you're an Igbo man. I said, no, I'm a Gambian. So they took me, locked me in a small room, start making the phone call. By the time they called the Gambia immigration, they said exactly what will benefit me, but I don't know if it's God doing that or devil doing it. They just told them that the guy is a Gambian citizen, but he was born in Nigeria. Okay. So the case closed. That's how they allow me to continue my journey. They said I'm not going to enter UK because my ticket is not to UK. By then, the nice thing about the Gambia passport that it has 6 countries free visa. Then I have Norway, Finland, Denmark, Iceland, and Sweden, and then the United Kingdom as a whole, both Wales, Ireland, a lot of them. But I know I don't have anybody in UK. Then my mom twins lives there, but I don't have good contact with her. So I would have just walked into UK with that free visa. Anyway, en route to Sweden, continue with the flight to Sweden. On getting to Sweden, I found out that it's not going to be an easy journey. It's so cold. Nobody's even talking to anybody. Black men is like abomination. They look at you like you're a ghost. They don't try to communicate with you. I say, how am I going to survive here? So from right there, when I landed in Sweden, traveled to Denmark, getting to Denmark, Copenhagen train station, I looked for another train going to Hamburg, to Germany. I was I studied a little bit map before I started doing this thing. So I know that from that Copenhagen, Hamburg is very close. And then I buy a ticket, travel to enter Germany. They deported me back to Denmark because my Gambia passport is free visa to Scandinavia, not Bundesrepublik. It doesn't go to Germany. So they deported me back to Denmark. I tried the second time with someone else, with some guys I met there. We went by road. On getting to the border, they drop us somewhere. See, if you look up there, you see a light. This kind of spotlight you see in the night for this speck of flight and all that. They point the light, say, if you look at that light, that's Hamburg. My dear, the light, I thought is here. I thought it's something you just take a walk like 10 minutes or 5 minutes, you see the light. We walk for like 7-8 hours. We didn't see it throughout the whole, and it's winter period. We were frozen, all the fingers swollen up, our toes, everything swollen up. So 3 or 4 basically would have been dead people. How God saved us, God is my witness. I don't know what he did. We were just coming out from a particular place. We saw cows. That one village man that is doing cow in the bush there. And the funny part is that there are some places that are so dangerous. They said that there are some mines. Denmark and Germany used to have problems. So that place is not a place people walk into. They will walk through it. Nothing happened to us. Even it came to a point where we fell into a ditch. And that ditch was covered with grass. When we found there was what cold water with icy. We struggled to come out of it. By the time we come out, we keep.
Thank you so much, sir. So, how can people be a part of what you're doing?
Yeah, we have our contacts. We have details on both our PayPal if they are from abroad. We have bank details, Nigeria, UK bank, everything. We have our details on our social media, and also if you want them, I can give them to you. And we have our contact number, especially my UK WhatsApp, where anybody can reach me if they want to be partner to what we are doing. In any way, even if you don't want to be partner financially, you can be a partner prayerfully. You can be an intercessor. You can be a foot soldier. You can follow us. If you have a medical ideas you want to bring in, come up. If you have any way you want to contribute, you want to give them clothes, you want to give them bread to eat. If you are into food manufacturing, give us food. We will appreciate. In anywhere, any assistance is highly welcome. Going, look at, I saw a very big truck coming. How that truck come out, only God knows. It's Carlsberg. This beer, this Carlsberg, that carry beer, this big truck, it was coming. So we jumped, three of us, we jumped out of the main road, that small, tiny road, waving our hands, and the truck stopped. Say, where are you guys from? Say, please, we are from Gambia. We're from Gambia. And I said to them, man, please, can you help us to police station? We want to be deported back to Africa. We want to go back home. By that time, we're not talking about going to abroad. And Germany is not even coming in our mouth again, because we have come to a point where we would have been all dead. And God has saved us. So we begged him. He drove off to the police station immediately. Once we got to the police station, the policeman asked us, you Nigerians, you can't stop amazing us. They just call us, they don't know we are Nigerians already, but no other people take that kind of risk apart from Nigerians. And he said to us, what are we looking for here? We said, please send us back to Africa. The man just get ticket for the train, take us back to Denmark again. And while we got to Denmark, because you can't just deport them, their passport is free visa. So you send them back where the passport is valid. So when we got to Denmark, I have no choice now than to try to look for plan B. And what's the plan B? Look for a place to seek asylum. That's now, are you going to declare yourself a refugee? Yeah, that's the information they gave to me in Denmark. So I look at going to library, found out that Sudan had a war, Liberia was at war, some countries were at war. So I choose Sudan. Then study a little bit about some small village there called Jonglei, in Sudan. I went to the police station and claimed that I'm from there. So they put me in a refugee camp. After a while, they ignored me, but knew that I'm lying. They knew that everything I'm saying was lie. So I ran away from there again, traveled back to Sweden. On getting to Sweden, I went to police station. I report myself, say my mother is dead, father dead. All of them are alive, but I used my mouth to kill everybody because I needed to settle down. It was a very dirty journey, to be very frank with you. Sometimes when I think about it, I say, God, how did I make this kind of mistakes in my life? Coming from such a beautiful country like Nigeria, enslaving myself in such a way, But I say, God, thank you for everything. So finally, these police people look at me again. They said that, thank you, yeah. When you're talking, they say, yeah. The way they don't believe you. After the whole writing up, they carry us, go and put us in a boat. The refugee in Malmö in Sweden was inside the water, and I hate water. So when they drove into that place, I was like, oh my God, I wish I could disappear. But I couldn't. They take me into that way. We're inside that boat for about 6 months. Finally, when they took us out of that place to go and take a walk in the city, I ran away. That's how I ran away.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm confused. You guys were living on the water?
Yeah, as refugees. The refugee camp is inside a very big boat. This kind of big boat. Yeah, not Titanic side, but something like that, Many Ghanaian, every nationality in Africa, South America, Iran, all of them, they're inside that boat.
Were they feeding you?
Yeah, you eat more than any Nigerian can. They can, more than any billionaire here. You eat chicken as much as you want, milk, anything you want to eat, vegetable, they are there. But you're just going to stay there. Until if your case is decided, then they will now locate you, give you a permission, and then you get a home where you can live. But of course, they know who the case, like me, they know I was lying. So after a while, I found out that this is too scary. I run away from that refugee camp, and they will come up with a new idea now, where to go to now. Go and look yourself an old woman and marry. That's the only way. Don't go for young girls, because all you're going to do is just to have fun after that. They won't give you a paper. So I hearkened to the voice I was following because I don't know who Christ is. I was really following that dark voice, and that voice kept on leading me into a very dangerous path. So I decided to go and start running about in the club. As devil may have it, I met this woman 12 years older than me. Tika, lie, blew all sort of lies, all sort of lies. I feel so bad when I think about it today. It's something I would never even imagine to do, but I did it anyway because I was desperate. I wanted to settle, and I needed that residence permit to be able to sustain living. You know, I don't want to go back to that poverty where I came from. A desperate man can do anything, so I decided to just keep lying and lying. And the woman took me into. I met this woman in train station. Told her that I love her, you know, start discussion and then kind of lies. She believed me. She's a very wonderful person, a very nice woman. She took me into her home. And one of the worst things I did to the woman was that she has 2 cats. Those cats have lived with her for over 14 or 13 years, something like that. And I hate cats with passion. When I came into the house, I saw the cat. I got goosebumps all over my body. I said, Mom, I can't come into the house. I don't like cats. God is my witness. This woman killed those 2 cats because of me. And like without knowing, I don't have genuine, my heart wasn't genuine. It was just about getting papers. Yeah. Oh, after killing those cats, I was having conscience badly. But thank God in that relationship, we got a wonderful boy in it, which is my first son. He was a basketballer before he has injury. A very wonderful boy. And that's the console. So anyway, the woman I took her.
Are you still in touch with her?
Yeah, we still communicate. Everybody in a relationship. I pick up the woman. We traveled to Nigeria to come and get married. Of course, my parents knew that this is not right because the age different and everything. So they removed their hands. And I went ahead and did it all by myself. Went to Ikoyi registry, do everything. And then after 1 year, she left back to Sweden. After 1 year and 3 months, I finally got my residence permit to move back. So when I got back there, it wasn't up to 4 years. I got my Swedish passport. On getting that Swedish passport, the new plan came in, which is now into criminality. That's
so I'm sorry to cut you short here. All through this period, the 4 years of you getting your passport, you were still married to this woman?
Yeah, it was a year. And when I met her, it was about not up to 2 years, I got my papers.
Okay.
And because we traveled to Nigeria and then start processing the documents. And then after getting that residence permit, now it takes you about 4 years, 3 to 4 years to get Swedish passport. Because if you commit any crime with residence permit, then you will be deported.
Okay.
So I was a little bit smart, even though I was an illiterate. I knew that if I commit crime, so I kept away from crime until I got my Swedish passport. That's when I stepped into crime.
So once you got your passports, you guys were still together until you got your passport?
Yeah.
Okay.
If not, you wouldn't get it. So we were still living together until I got my passport. Then I started misbehaving. Before I know it, I divorced her. I gave her a divorce, which put her in a very tight corner. She felt really bad because she thought I loved her. Anyway, I believe God has forgiven me for such error. And of course, I've also apologized for what I did to her. But anyway, when I finally left that place, I left the woman. I jumped into bad friends and then start drug business. That's when I started to destroy my life full time. Begin to import cocaine. I have so much strong connection in Brazil, in Sao Paulo there, and some people that are in Campo Grande, where Pablo Escobar is manufacturing the whole thing. So with the contacts and everything, drugs start flowing into Europe and everything. I start making big money, and then the girls start flowing around and cars and all this flashy life. And then before I know it, I start thinking that I'm somebody when I was nobody.
You were in your 20s?
Yeah, 20-something years. I was quite young. So I began to misbehave around and then got myself involved in a tight corner when I heard the voice of the Lord say to me, my son, walk away from what you are doing or you'll be destroyed. I never understand who was speaking to me. I was driving that day. I heard the voice clearly. I didn't hearken to the voice. 1 month and 3 weeks after hearing that voice, I was arrested with 1.5 kilo cocaine. That's when it dawned in me that there's a higher power speaking to me. And it was Jesus trying to stop me earlier. I didn't listen. Nobody commits crime today that will tell you that you didn't hear the voice of the Lord warning you before. Nobody. I've been to 200 and something prisons speaking to the inmates, and every one of them I ask the same question. They say yes, they hear the voice before they commit that crime. They hear a voice warning them. That's how much he loves us. He always gives us the best path to follow, but we always choose a different path. I chose different path though, and I pay heavily for that. So my two hands became one. Big Boy, Apachino, Marlon Brandia, Capone, Untouchable, Tony Montana, whatever I think I was, all of them crumbled. I found myself in a small corner in a cell room. Inside that prison, my eyes opened. 9 months of police custody. They were fighting to get evidence. I was so smart in crime that they couldn't find any evidence. All they know is that there's a cocaine in my boat, the car that I'm driving. And as a boy in that cook, that my boy there said that the thing belongs to him. So since he said it belongs to him, it has nothing to do with me. They knew that I was one of those that are moving cocaine into Europe. So, and they have been monitoring me for the past 4 years. I did not know. So they go and manipulate some documents, bring papers, all kind of, lawyers, prosecutors, they are very smart. They know how to forge things. They made up so much stories, made me like a mafia in Europe. They blowed me out of proportion, like as if I'm such a Montana or whatever. At the end of the day, they sentenced me for 15 years. They asked me, what do you have to say? Of course, I said, fuck you. That was the last thing I had to say because I had no knowledge of what's going on. Let me go to jail after I committed the crime. If you commit the crime, you do the time. I end up in a very strong prison in Stockholm called Hall. Hall is a tough prison for the big guys. I'm telling you, that's where I found myself, and then I became tougher even being there. Inside that prison, life goes on. Bringing girlfriends, misbehaving. My second son, I gave birth to him while I was inside prison. I'm pregnant. Then the mom got pregnant in the prison. So many things happen in my life that time wouldn't permit me to go through them, but I know maybe one other time we might have time again to go through some more details. But trust me, my life in the prison was a process, and I knew that God was with me, but I don't know who he is because I saw some serious things happening around me. But those incidents, I can't even explain them. Like when this girl got pregnant in the prison, about to give birth, they have to come and put handcuff on me, take me to the hospital, go there, push out the baby, pick up the baby, give him the chukuka, and then they take me back to cell again. All those mysterious things. And that boy I'm talking to you now is an apostle of God as I'm talking to you. And the boy went through process. He went to jail as a 16 years old boy. Committed suicide, died. I was here. They told me that he died. I prayed. I said, God, that's not my covenant with you. As they carried him on the way to back home, he got off from the van. Today, my son Chide is a very wonderful boy, serving the Lord. There's so many mysterious things that happen in my life. And I left that life in the prison. I was living that life in the prison, thinking that my life is over. I didn't really bother anything. I was just living anyhow. Girls coming into the cell, into the prison. Yeah, there. In Sweden, it's not like in Nigeria prison. You have a big, nice bigger apartments where you can have a girlfriend. If you come in the weekend, you go and spend Friday to Sunday, then she left, you go back to your cell. It wasn't like prison. You are like in a hotel. Let me put it this way. There was no suffering. You can order whatever you want to eat. You can order a whole lamb, a whole goat, and they'll bring it, and you have a very big, mighty kitchen there. Everybody can go in. Africans cooking their own, Americans cooking. Everybody have space. You live your life training, everybody beefing up, playing football, badminton, hockey, whatever. It's just a normal life. The only thing is that you don't have access to those your millions, and you don't have access to, you can't come out when people are celebrating their Christmas, Easter. You'll be hearing the knockout inside the cell, and you feel like you want to kill yourself. That's the only thing. The torture of not coming out to meet your loved one was something choking me for years. And then when I heard that my father heard that I was sentenced for 50 years and he died, oh God, that was the time I said, no, I have to take my life away. But the Lord has a plan, so he never allowed me to kill myself. I stood there, hanging there, going through the pain, going to the calendar, marking every day. One day you mark. After a while, it looks like the calendar is not moving. The day is not moving anymore. You became frustrated. Every day you are fighting. It's either you break somebody's head in the gym or you twisted somebody's arm. I became so violent. I was unbearable for the prison warders. There's no way to send me to this, the highest prison in Sweden. So they can't send me any other place. So sometimes I'll misbehave that they have to give me a special punishment and all that. I went through all this, not knowing that I have a calling of God. That's why all those things were happening. I have no clue. But the day I found out that I had the calling, the equation changed. Everything changed. How did I discover? That's what I want to tell you now. You see, I was in my cell room watching pornography. You know, everybody have their TV, their room. You have your big widescreen, you have your laptop, you have your DVD. Everything you want to have, you can get it in laptop and all that. But for you to have more of them, you have to apply for it. Yeah. So I was watching anything I want. And that day was a pornography, an animal pornography I was watching. Something happened and I was a bit, the thing makes me backslide. Like I was shocked what happened. My elbow hit my remote control. Look at how powerful God is. He can change anyone. Imagine what he did to Apostle Paul. So who are you? Who do you think you are that God cannot change you? That's why when I see some people that say that they are so tough, I say, you haven't seen anything. Come, let me take you to the prison. So you see tough guys. You will then cool down. The Lord, I was just watching that. Nothing happened. My elbow hit remote control and the channel changed. Guess who? Kenneth. This guy was Creflo Dollar Jr. in America. It was like, renew your mind or you will die. Don't touch that. It was like a warning to me. His hand was like pointing right in my face. I got goose pimple all over my body. The first time I felt this thing called glory, I never knew what it is. My cell room was filled with smoke. You couldn't see the pornography magazines that I got everywhere for masturbation purpose, because every cell in the prison there, you see pornography magazine everywhere. You have girls coming in, but yet you're not satisfied, because that's how demon held us bound, especially myself. Let me talk about myself. He held me so bound. Then I just said to myself, God, what is going on here? My tongue was shaking. I don't know what is speaking in tongue. That day it started, I didn't know what it was. My mouth was just wagging without making sense. I'm not hearing. It was an encounter I have with God. I jumped off from my bed and I grabbed the whole pornography magazine, tearing them violently, tearing everything down, packing my DVDs, all my pornography videos and so on, throwing them inside my bin. I was inside that cell crying for 3 days, for 3 good days. The prison warders will come over and say, Christian, can you come out and eat something? I say, please go away from my door. Every time they come for 3 days, I was there shaking. I wasn't hungry. Anybody who has not encountered Christ cannot preach to me. I'm telling you, if you want to preach to me, I will first know your testimony. If you don't have testimony, there's nothing you're going to tell me. I haven't gone to Bible school. I don't have so much knowledge about the Bible, but I have knowledge of Christ. I've seen him and I know what he can do. That's what gives me conviction today that I will keep on going that place he sent me until he comes, which is prison yards, students and all that. That's my mission. I will never start a church. I will never pastor a church. It's my encounter that made me to have that faith and that belief. I don't have the knowledge of a pastor anyway. It has to be an evangelist going from prison to prison. That's what I do because of my encounter inside the prison. I said to myself, God, this is something else. After these few days of encounter with Christ, I just sat down myself wondering what to do with my life, because the pornography is gone. Everything gone. I'm still wondering what's happening to me. My tongue is still wagging there without understanding what I was saying. So I started to read Bible, looking into Bible without really understanding what I'm reading.
You had a Bible?
Yeah. Every prison they have Bible in the cell, but if you want, if you don't want, it's up to you. It's your choice. Those who doesn't want can throw it away like Muslims and put their Quran in there if they want to. So anyway, and after 3 days, I heard boom, 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 my door. I say, who is that? They say, yeah, this prison one. I say, okay. They open my door, come in. Of course, they have the key, but they have to tell them to come in before they come in. But they have human rights in Sweden, not like Nigeria here. So they come in and then ask me, say, Christian, you have gotten state pardon. And I was like, is this man joking with me? I say, under what? Please, can you leave my cell room? I just go back to myself and start pondering over one, pondering on. And I asked them to leave. They say, no, we are still. Say, please, can you get out from my cell? And they know I'm a very violent person, but because of that second voice I raised, they just turn away and move. That I'm no longer, something has happened, but they still seeing that old Christian. I just say, please, can you just go? And they walked away. Second person came, I sent them back again. Then there's a lady that I really love so much in that prison. She's a very wonderful girl. And I was planning if I happen to come out, because she will be my girlfriend or side. We were
She's
very
a prison warden.
Yeah, prison warden, but a very wonderful lady, and she likes me a lot too. So we started, when she come and say, Chris, you don't even call me Chris, and you call me Chris. So you know how intimate it has gone. Not like no physical thing, but I mean, we are close. If I need to smuggle something, he get me what I need, like phones and all that. She does that for me. So anyway, she said that you have to go home. I said, are you serious? He said, yeah, you have gotten pardon on that good conduct. I said, what good conduct? I mean, somebody who is misbehaving, fighting up and down in the cell. Every time there's a football, I'll be the one to first knock somebody down. There's always a violent act everywhere. So what's the good conduct? So God can change things in a way that you will wonder what exactly really happened. That's what he did in my life. A confusing way he did it. And they just said, give me papers and asked me to sign that I have to go home. I signed that paper without fully convinced that I'm free. So when we started work, when they opened the gate for me and I started going, I was moving and looking behind. So I thought they're going to snipe me from the tower. I wasn't sure that I was set free. I thought they're going to kill me, actually. I said, let me take my face. Since that girl told me I would trust her, but I wasn't sure. I passed through that tower, walk out. I said, wow, I'm free. Called it, stop the taxi, enter taxi. While I was inside that taxi, I pick up my phone and then start calling all my friends who owes me money. Because I need money. They've seized all my money in the bank, seized everything I had, their houses, so nothing have left. So what do I have except to couple that owe me? Anyone I call, listen to this. God is so mysterious in his ways. Anyone I call to help me to pay my money, the wife will pick up the phone. He said that the husband is dead. He called this one, the husband is dead. 7 of my best friends are in the grave. That's when I discovered why God put me in jail. Just for him to use me, he eliminated every Pharaoh around me. Just one single Moses. God can eliminate a whole country for one man. He showed it on my own path. I saw it. I witnessed it. All my 7 friends were all dead. Finally, I cried like a baby inside that taxi. Everyone I called, they say, I started crying. The taxi driver was, are you okay? I said, please.
Sorry, sir. Those 7 people were also drug dealers.
Partners. They are my partners in drug.
Are they all Nigerians?
They are all Nigerians, yeah. We always hang and they are all my Igbo brothers as well. So we're all doing all those things together. Finally, I resolved in following him because there's no other way. I was crying not because they died. I was crying because people I thought that my helpers are gone. That was the reason why. Because I've seen death. I've seen things happening around me as a drug dealer. So it's like deja vu. What I'm crying for is because of the money that I need to have. So when I gave my life to Christ, I wasn't broken. So I had to go through process. So that you say I give my life to Christ doesn't mean that you're a Christian. I'm just giving you an example, because if I'm a Christian, I wouldn't be thinking the way I was thinking. Money was my main thing I was thinking then, not they're dead or whatever. So at the end of the day, the brokenness starts when God has captivated everything that gives me pride. Everything that makes me think I'm somebody. God is a master. He's a game planner. He's a game changer, a master planner. God planned everything and orchestrated the whole thing, execute it with precision, and brought me to a place where I am today, because I'm a very stubborn person. So he has to break everything around me. He break everything breakable. Both now unbreakable. He break all of them. And then got me to a point where I had to leave Sweden. Even though I have 2 sons in Sweden, I have to leave the place because of peer pressure. If not, my friends that are driving all these big cars and all that, some people that I know, not really close friends that are moving around, we go to clubs together, they will start enticing me again. So I moved to London. On getting to UK, you can't get a job because you have a criminal record. Obviously, you're a criminal. So anywhere you go to apply the job, the computer will bing, 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 there will be an alarm in the computer because you're a criminal. The record is there. So the only job then that I could be able to do was a taxi driver. Just go and get your PCO license. In UK, they call it PCO taxi license. You get it and then buy your own car and start driving. So I went to my license. Before 2 months, I got my license and then get my car. And then Of course, I convert my Swedish driver's license to UK license, then get my PCO license, which is a taxi license, and then start driving, start making my money. There I met another girl in London. When I met this lady, fell in love with the lady, got into marriage, get 5 children, plus my 2 other sons in Sweden became 7. The marriage died again. Long story. One day we'll have time to discuss that. That marriage died. Anyway, I decided to follow God actually. When I was in London there driving taxi, no passenger stepped into my car without hearing what God did in my life. Nobody. Even if you like, be an atheist. Atheist come into my car, say, shut down your radio or music or whatever. I say, if I turn this music off, then you will hear something bigger than the music. I promise you. Or else you go down. And he was like, no, I don't want to hear anything about God. I say, yeah, you have to. This is my car. I'm not driving for anybody. I'm driving for myself. And this is my business. If you come into my business, you listen to what I play. He said, okay, then let me hear what I said. Okay, let me tell you my testimony. I said, I'm not interested. I said, okay, then you can go down from the car. And I dropped several of them. Even if you're going to airport, very risk of missing your flight, you must listen to the gospel. I was so brutal when it comes to evangelism. You listen to gospel or you hear my testimony. You choose one. It's my car. There's one I was listening to worship song, Michael Smith. And this guy come to a point and say, he hit the car. Can you shut that thing down? I don't want to hear it. I think the Holy Spirit start troubling the guy. And he hit the car, say, stop that. I said, oh, do you want me to drop you here? I said, no, I have a flight to catch, of course. I said, yeah, just be calm. Don't make noise again, because if you make noise again, I'm going to drop you. And the guy picked up phone, he called the office, and he asked them, this guy must be mad. The way he's playing what I don't know what it is. Ask him to turn off his diffuse. And the office called me. People that gave you the job, not they give you a card. You have your card, but they give you jobs. Say, Christian, what's going on here? Somebody's complaining about you again. I said, oh, I'm in my business. Do my business. Say I shouldn't listen to what I like to listen. He said, then no, you can't turn it off. You turn it off, I might fall asleep. So I need my gospel to be able to survive. But I can drop him here if you want. I don't need the money. He can go with his money. He said, no, you can't do that. Then tell him to shut up because I'm driving him to the airport. And I don't want him to piss me off again. They called the guy and said, please just manage it the way it is. We drove down to the airport, drop him. Hey, before he got down to the airport, he said, I think you are a strong guy, and but is that truly God? I said, yes, it is. He spent a few more minutes telling brief about my testimony. Many of them got converted. Many just walk out, get my flights, my number, walk out. So when I go to the airport, they call me. That means something happened in their life. So I was doing that for years until my marriage died. My marriage lasted like 8 years and it died, so I still decided to.
You had 5 children in 8 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I moved away from London. It was about 9 years altogether. I moved away from London to Nigeria. When I come back to Nigeria 2013, under God's instruction, the purpose of sending me back to Nigeria was to go and do the work that He called me to do, and that is prison ministry. 2013, 23rd January, I won't forget that date. I landed at Murtala Mohammed Airport. I hear the voice very clearly. It said, go and visit the prisons in Africa. After when you're done, then I'll send you to Europe prisons and America. Today we have covered 258 prisons in Africa, both in South Africa, Ghana, Zimbabwe, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Gambia, Nigeria here. We've covered so many. The only thing that slows us down now is that we don't have cash enough because I've sold everything I had to be able to push myself this far. And now to get people to donate is always difficult because Nigeria doesn't like to do anything that they don't see, somebody to praise them. In prison, anything you give to prisoners, there's no one that's praising you. To start with, they are ungrateful people inside prison anyway. They don't know how to say thank you. So, and that's a calling that God gave me. It's like you picking a condemned iron. That's what God called me to do. So, and I'm doing it with all my heart, with everything in me. I've sold all I had to do that work. And I delight joy in doing it. So today, there's no prison you call in Nigeria. And I mentioned Evangelist Christian Chukwuka. They will not tell you that they know who I am. And basically, I'm like the only one that carry camera into prison. It's banned. It's not supposed to be, but they allow me because they know the cause. This is God's calling. And without you seeing that video, you wouldn't have called me today to come for this interview. So we need that video to be able to express what we are going through, what we are seeing in the Nigerian prison system. And I believe one day there will be a time to talk about what's happening in the system because that's a whole lot of different ballgame.
I think we should talk about it because I think the point of doing this is to call people to look beyond themselves and know that people are going through worse things than you can ever think about. A lot of times we are so focused on our own selves, our own challenges, but God is calling us to reach out. And, it's important that we understand how serious the challenge is. I was telling one of our guests that we were interviewing that when it comes to prison, like prison is something that you don't think about. Like you're living your normal life, you're not even remembering that there is something called prison. How much more that people are there. Some are innocent, some are not. So can you just like tell us a little bit about what's going on in the prison system in Nigeria?
Okay. It's a very long story based on the 200. When I say 258 prisons, some of them I've done like 40 times, some I've done like 50 times. Like in Lagos here, where I base, I visited Ikoyi more than 100 times since for these past 12 years. Because like every like we have a popular program that we do every second Saturday. I'm in Ikoyi, and then we do others some midweek time to time, and then we do Kirikiri, maximum million, etc. Things I've experienced from prison, both in Kano, Kaduna, Jigawa, Jos, everywhere that I've been to, they are the same. There's inhuman treatment. I cannot. The only way I can explain is just go to my page, see it, because it's not something I would just say. If I say it, you won't believe me. Where you pack people like sardine in a small place, you get about 50 people in a small room, so they squeeze themselves like up and down. Their head is this way, the other one head is that way, the leg is in your face, and then if you go to my video, you see what I'm telling you. I have a live video of it, and it's so sad to see those things. And then the food they are giving them is totally unacceptable. And not just the food. Another problem that I have there is that they mix up children with adults. And when that happens, of course, you know what happened. Who is going to be the victim? The children. I just came out from one prison that I don't want to mention the name, because if I mention the name of the prison, the warders there will pay the price. There will be very serious problem. You know how the system is. They always find someone to leave the problem from the head where it's supposed to, because I think they should work hard to deal with the head leaders of prison system and then teach them, give them more knowledge so they can be able to execute what is called correctional service. It can't be prison anymore, but I still call it prison. Myself personally call it prison because I've not seen the correctional system. Except one woman that was removed from female prison called Mrs. Lizzie Bendo. She was the only one running correctional service in female prison, Kirikiri, Lagos, about 360 female there. She nurtured them like babies. She took care of them like the daughters. And I was working with her. We helped her financially. And that place was so beautiful until she left. Things changed again. That's the only place I call correctional service. Every other one in Nigeria is a prison yard. And in this one that we went recently, we find 12 years old kids. I don't know if you believe me, we found 8 years old kid.
What?
In a place where you see also 29 years old boys in the prison. My Lord is my witness, but I won't tell you the name of the place because there will be a serious problem. The prison yard will have issues. And these are the things. Yeah. He said that the boy said that I asked them anyway, they said that the boy was not staying home, he ran away, so the uncle or the mother, the parents are dead, so the boy is a stubborn boy like me, so they feel like the best way is to put him inside the prison. And what I'm talking about, I have evidence, I have videos, and when we're done, I can show you the video you watch, but I don't post it. I can show you see it. I don't say what I don't mean or what I'm not sure of anyway. Those things, I wish I have opportunity to meet interior minister. I wish I have the opportunity to meet the leaders of this country so I can just bring out my archive, get out like 7 terabytes of videos that I have from prison and start bringing them some seconds. What they will see will shock them. Then I will ask them, do you want me to help? I'm ready to help. I have the blueprints how to run correctional service. I'll give ideas and so on. Work with me. I didn't come here for money, but let us change because the life of these children are being wasted. And all these people, these people that you call criminals, I'm telling you, 75% of them are innocent. I will explain. When you have somebody in the prison for 19 years on awaiting trial, no evidence, nothing, will you call him a criminal? He's still awaiting trial. She's still on awaiting trial. And I have videos of people 10 years, 19 years, 21 years waiting inside the prison to go to court. They've never been to court. When they finally go to court, they say, oh, okay, we discharge you, we pity you. It's not pity. The person is innocent. And when you pity them, send them away. What about the reformation, transformation of their life? What about rehabilitating them to become human again? Because you made them animal inside the prison. We need all these things to be dealt with. We have been asking some NGOs, help us to get a rehabilitation home in Lagos or in Asaba or anywhere, in Enugu. Get us rehab so I can be able to pick these boys and start training them and turning them away from what they have become. Because many of them have become monsters in the prison. I want to help this country from the prison system. Even our interior minister needs to have a time with me. I'm not asking him to do anything for me, but let him sit down with me so I can show him things I cannot post online. There are videos you don't post online. You understand me? Because if you post it, you have cut the expectation of your ministry off. You will not be allowed to go to prison again. They might even sack the people that are at that place. They become jobless because of your ego. Because that's ego that made people to do that kind of posting. That's exactly why they removed the best woman in female prison that time, because the bloggers came over there with their camera running up and down, and then they start posting Chidinma everywhere. Chidinma case is still going on, and the Chidinma fooled the whole internet that she won beauty pageant, and that woman lost her job. I was there. I have the full video, but I don't post it like that. I use diplomacy. I was there, and we are the people that organize those things. We spend the money to make that thing happen, because beauty pageant is not a sin. They can be able to live their life while they're in the prison. If not, I wouldn't have been a human being today. It's because they gave me opportunity to live my life while I was in prison in Sweden. So I want to still bring that blueprint down here. I want them to see that same pattern we run in Europe, because it helps people to become human. If you treat them like human being, they will come out, become better person. But when you treat them like animal inside the prison, what you will see is brutal criminals when they come out. And the stigmatization is also part of the problem they have. When they come out here, nothing to do. Abounding Grace Foundation, we never leave them anywhere. When they come out, we settle them, give them, maybe start barbering salon for them, or clothes making, or tailoring, or anything at all they can study. Many are here now calling me for what they can do, but I don't have money to help them. Finances is our problem.
Thank you so much, sir. So, how can people be a part of what you're doing?
Yeah, we have our contacts. We have details on both our PayPal if they are from abroad. We have bank details, Nigeria, UK bank, everything. We have our details on our social media, and also if you want them, I can give them to you. Mm-hmm. And we have our contact number, especially my UK WhatsApp, where anybody can reach me if they want to be partner to what we are doing. In any way, even if you don't want to be partner financially, you can be a partner prayerfully. You can be an intercessor. You can be a foot soldier. You can follow us. If you have a medical ideas you want to bring in, come up. If you have any way you want to contribute, you want to give them clothes, you want to give them bread to eat. If you are into food manufacturing, give us food. We will appreciate. In anywhere, any assistance is highly welcome and appreciated highly.
Yeah. So we're going to put details.
Okay.
We are going to put details of evangelists in the description, and anyone that wants to be a part of it, you can reach out to him, reach out to his organization, and give. Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Please.
What is your dream, the next big thing for you and your ministry?
My biggest dream now is to be able to get a permission to cover the universities in Nigeria. I think I carry what they need, because the courtism is on a high level. While I'm doing the prison, the schools are extremely important. God gave me that revelation now. Visit universities, get them out of courtism, then make them to align. But you have to get some permission to get some of them. So anyone who is into education in any state where you are, just give me permission for that state and I will be there. That's one of my biggest goals now, to get to students in order. Because the killing is too much. Ritual killing of this, our youth, is getting out of hand. I need to mitigate it at least.